Scott here. It is diary time, and I'm outside. That's where I like to be. I like to be out here. Occasionally I'll do them in there, but sometimes out here. I have to apologize. There is a Comcast business van. I don't know what that means because these are all residential home stuff here, but there's a Comcast business van out in front just idling, and he's sitting in behind his wheel just chilling. And he's not moving. I'm looking at him. He's not even looking at his phone. He's not looking at anything. He's just staring into the abyss while his car sits, idles, and burns gas. Now a lady's walking up to him. Well, anyways, I'm going to do this out here. Now, before we get going, I think the fun part, let's get the fun part out. Spent some time with the kids yesterday and recorded them being goofballs and saying some of the funny stuff they say. So let's listen to that now, and then we'll come back. All right? Enjoy this. I sure did. Hey, Phoebe, can I kick your butt?
No.
Will you kick? Can you kick my butt?
No.
Kick my butt.
I kick your butt. I say, but.
Wow. What do you want to say?
What do you want to say? Scott.
Kick the butt.
You kick a butt?
She's like,
Oh, you're just showing us your teeth? Oh, yeah, because you're missing a tooth. Look at that.
Yeah, it is.
I saw you guys pulled it out with the door. Is that true?
But she closed it and then I let go. Then they pulled it out.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Bad? Did it hurt bad or not very much?
Not very much. $2.
$2?
Yes.
When I was your age, I only got a quarter.
I got corner too.
You got a corner? All right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you have anything to say before you fall?
Wow. Kick the butt.
You can ask her what her favorite color and your favorite food is.
Hey, Phoebe, what's your favorite? Oh, wait until she falls. Hey, Phoebe. Phoebe, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
Green.
Green food. Greens. This is chicken.
What's your favorite Bluey character? She seems to intuitively know what this is about. Hey, are you excited about baseball?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I gotta hit the ball.
You're gonna hit the ball and then what?
I need to catch the ball.
Yeah, but what about, are you gonna run?
Yeah.
How fast do you run?
I run super fast.
Super fast?
Yeah.
Did you say freaking fast?
Freaking fast.
Yeah, well, that was close to something else.
Hey, Phoebe. You say, I love you.
I do.
So?
Freaking much.
I love you so freaking much too. You want to do it?
Yeah. I grow up and I go to school.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's no more school today.
When you grow up, what kind of school are you gonna go to?
I gotta go to baseball.
Oh, baseball?
You go to baseball school?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you learn at baseball school?
I catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about math and letters and books and history?
I want to do history.
Yeah, history's cool, huh?
Yeah.
What's your favorite person in history?
Mallow.
Who?
Milo.
Oh, Milo, that's your friend.
Yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah, but he's not from history. Who's your favorite historical figure?
It's a bluey one.
All right then. Problem solved. Well done. Hey, Phoebe. What is an alligator?
I get alligator.
Yeah. What does an alligator do?
Go up.
He goes up. How many alligators are in the world? How many? Are there lots of alligators or only one? Oh, careful. You're going to dump your chicken strips.
I was it.
Van, how many alligators are in the world?
One.
Just one?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Van.
His name is Van?
Yeah.
Same name as you? Okay, Van says there's only one alligator in the whole world and it's named Van. Hey, Phoebe, how old are you?
1.
You're 1? I think Nana gave you a hint. All right, what is 2 plus 2?
2.
She just booped the microphone.
You do me?
Okay, what is 2 plus 2, bud?
It's from numbers.
Yeah, but what's the answer? So if you take 2 plus 2 equals what?
1
Nope.
equals 2.
Nope.
3
Nope.
plus
2 more.
plus 2 more.
Yeah, so if you have that many, how much is that?
What is this?
4.
Yeah, 2 plus 2 is 4. How about 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1.
2.
How about 1 plus 2?
3.
Very good. What is 10 minus 5?
5.
Very good. How much is 10 minus 6?
4.
Very good. So you know your math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like school?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Are you excited for your new school?
Yeah.
Are you going to miss Mrs. What's her name? What was your teacher's name?
It's from kindergarten.
Yeah, but what was her name, your teacher?
I don't know.
You don't remember her teacher's name?
Yeah.
Preschool teacher. What's her name?
Preschool teacher.
Yeah, who was it? What was her name?
What's his name? Miss Jenna.
Miss Jenna.
Yeah.
What? And will you miss her?
Yeah. I was slack later. I get the particles.
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't just clone me as a child? Because basically he's just me. Popsicles. Hey, Phoebe, do you like popsicles?
Popsicles.
Yeah. You like them?
I like them.
Okay.
I like them too.
Yep, everyone likes popsicles, even me. And we're back. Isn't that great? Phoebe's turning into quite the little freak nut. I guess her brother to some extent as well. So, I got a question for homeowners everywhere. Do you ever have a year where your sprinkling system just works and there's no problem? You know what I mean? Like where it just works. There's no solenoid issues, no wires crossed, no pipes leaking, no, something weird happened in the winter or some guy didn't, run over your grass in a motorcycle or something and pop one of the heads. Or even a dog chew one of your little flower line things, the little skinny the leaky ones that are for gardens and stuff. You ever have a dog chew through one of those? Well, let me just say, going through a bit of that ourselves here. We've got supposedly a solenoid. I don't even know, what is a solenoid? It sounds like a Genesis video game villain. Protect the city from the solenoids, right? It's not, though. It's something inside of this box we got over here full of sprinkler shiz. I don't understand these things. This isn't me. I don't know. How do I know? Anyway, because I'm no expert, you hear the neighbor kid screaming. That's the kid that rides across my lawn. I don't know how this stuff works. I was never trained in the sprinkler arts, the maintenance and caretaking of sprinklers. And so I feel like a dumbass as I sit here trying to decide how to deal with it. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Like a lot of things in life, sometimes you just gotta knuckle down, get in there and get dirty and make the change you want to be in the world, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna dig into that hole. I'm gonna figure out what might be loose. I'm smart enough to know where these two wires connect and where they head and maybe how they're shorting out or something, or if the thing they're connected to is just not functioning and I gotta go to Home Depot and get another one. I can do that. I'm a man. Ironically, the woman in my life does way better than me, so I have no excuse. There's no equality here at my house. She's better than me at most things. I'll be the first to admit it. Got a text and some email stuff I want to read today. This is one of those days. So first you had a bunch of little kids saying a bunch of words, and now you get to hear me say some words. For example, Scotty Bishop wrote in to the email address, scott@frogpants.com, and he said the following. I have the smallest bit of insight into the conversation you brought up last diary. This was actually a little while ago. The change of the S word or suicide word to unalive started, I believe, because of changing monetization rules on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Changing the term was a way to get around restrictions that would get your video demonetized while you're still... Did I already read this? Anyway, while still getting your content out there. I may have just read it and then thought I read it on the air. It might have broadened from there, but to be more respectful of others and their triggers, but I'm not sure if it even actually does that. Anyway, maybe that's a little more context for you. Love the show, Scotty. Well, I think you may be onto something there. You're not the first person to say it. And so, yeah, entirely possible that that's the case. Here's another one. Oh, here's another one about the same thing. I hadn't read this one yet. This is from Diary 276 also. This is from somebody named, I'll just say C, because he didn't leave his name, but I see it in his address, but I don't know if he wants me to say it, so I won't. Let's just call him Carrie, okay? Hello, I hope all is well with you and yours. I just finished listening to episode 276 in which you spoke about the word suicide and having to be to use unalive. I hope that you follow up some responses on this show because I'm also curious. Originally, I thought people just started using unalive because social media started to remove any mention of it in order to avoid accidentally showing somebody committing the act after declaring their intent. From there, I guess it evolved to being a word just not said. I don't know because anyone I have asked will say, oh yeah, you can't say suicide, you have to say unalive, at which point I'm like, why? And the answer is commonly that I get back, quote, I don't know, you just can't, unquote. See, that's a problem. I don't like when things evolve to that point. We should know why we're saying what we're saying and why we're not saying what we're not saying. You know what I mean? That annoys me. Anyway, I agree with your question about is one word inherently better than the other when both mean the same thing. It's not a slang word, and rarely have I heard it used incorrectly, yet here we are. Anyways, hope you follow up with some insight on that. Thanks. Well, I don't have much insight, but I think your point, well taken, Carrie. I almost messed up and said the wrong name again. I think that it's a little silly. If it's for the algorithm reason, that actually makes sense to me because that's a practical reason to do it if you're making videos and stuff. So if you're trying not to get YouTube or TikTok or whoever to ban your video or not show it or demonetize it or you know, shadow ban it or whatever, that would make sense to me. But if people are doing it just because they don't know, like suicide has taken on a more sinister tone and isn't just what it means anymore, versus unalive, which to me sounds silly and disrespectful. I mean, I'll just tell you how that word sounds to me. I don't know if I made this clear on that episode, but it just sounds like, well, why are we, what are you doing? That's like saying that bomb exploded. Oh no, you can't say exploded. Oh, what happened? That bomb exerted itself or something. Like, well, why? We had a perfectly good way of saying it before. Now, if it was disrespectful to somebody, inherently, you know, some specific group or person, I'd understand that. But it is what it is, in the same way you'd say homicide, or regicide, or genocide, or any of those, right? They're all sides of a different coin. All right. Let's find another one here. Here's one, a text. Here it is. This is about my brother Matt showing up on the show. This is from Harold. Came to 801-471-0462. It says, diary, to the diary, Matt is hilarious. Amazing combinations of his pain and his sense of humor about it. Thanks for the interview. And also, yes, when is he coming back? I mean, I'll have him back, you know, when it makes sense. I don't know that he's not going to be on all the time or anything, but when he's around, we'll sit down and have a chat. I also want to get my sister, Misha, on here. You guys never hear about her or from her. She'd probably be very nervous to do that, but I think I'm going to talk her into it. I'll let you know how that goes. Here's another one about that very same day. Matt's appearance was fantastic. I don't have a name on this one. Yeah, this is an anonymous person. Matt's appearance was fantastic. Thank you for making that happen. I've always been curious as to how your parents became interested in adoption so late in their parenting. Would you mind sharing what your parents' interest in adopting at that stage in their lives was? Yeah, it's actually very simple. And I've explained this somewhere before. I don't remember where it was, but it's worth telling again. So, my mom had a lot of miscarriages. At the time, nobody was really even sure why, but she had my brother 10 years before me. And then before I came, 9 miscarriages between him and me. Almost 1 per year that that he was alive. So 9 miscarriages, and then a couple of those, by the way, were full term, like heartbeats up until the last month, and then nothing, and then she had to essentially go through labor and give birth to stillborn children. Pretty rough stuff, right? I think you'd have to do that even now. I don't think there's any medical way of avoiding that now. If you're in the 8th or 9th month and the fetus dies, what are you supposed to do? I think you have to do that. So that was, a lot. And that was, when I came, I was kind of unexpected. It was like a little bit of not an accident, but whoa, we had a kid. And I think that's why I came out with a droopy left eye and just teasing. I don't know. None of that really tracks. But I was the expected 10th miscarriage that did not miscarry, and so that was great and all. But they decided after that they wanted more family, they wanted more kids, and they were just like, well, we can't keep going through this, right? That's just too much to keep having this problem. And so they decided to start the adoption process on my sister's first. I think they were going to just do 1, and then they were like, well, if you do 2, there was some benefit to doing 2. I can't remember what the deal was. It's a long time ago, dude. This is like late 70s, early 80s that they're talking about doing this, right? And at the time, South Korea is not the place it is now. It was a much poorer country, and adopting for Korea was actually kind of commonplace. There's a lot of Korean Americans you'll meet today, a lot of Korean American communities that came from that adoption period. A lot of famous people too. I can't think of her name. Comedian girl. I can't think of her name. Anyway, so they started the paperwork on my sisters and got them at very young. I think my sister Misha, who's 2 years younger than I am, she came at, I think, 9 or 10 months old is all. So I was very little when she came. And then Tara came later, and she was also very little. I want to say she was maybe only 2 or 3 months old as well, but she's 4.5 years younger than my sister, who's younger than me now. And there's a lady walking a dog who kept stopping and looking up here. Dude, I'm talking to my phone. It isn't that weird. All right. I think she probably couldn't see me, but she could hear me. Anyway, point is, then we kind of thought we were done. And then they were like, we really want another one. We don't expect to have any more kids because of these medical issues. And they knew, and there was some arbitrary limit. I don't know if it was arbitrary, but there was a lawful or some in-law limit on how many kids you could adopt at the time from Korea. And we were at the max, 2 of them. And I don't know if it was like a law, or if it was like just a general agreement between the governments or something. There was something going on there. I was a kid and I wasn't really given the details on this part. But they pushed for it and really wanted it. And they ended up getting the ear of then Senator Oh, crap. Funny enough, he's one of the last Utah senators that were Democratic, not Republican. I can't even remember his name though. He's the one that went to the moon, or not the moon, to the space shuttle. I cannot think of his name right here. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Senator went to space. Is it Garn? It's starting to ring a bell. Garn? All right. Senator went to Jake. No, not John Glenn. Jake Garn? I mean, there have been some since. I think at the time he may have been first, though. Jake. Let me just double check that. Jake Garn. Okay. Yes, that is correct. Jake Garn was a... Oh, no, he was... I thought he was Democrat. No, he's Republican. Doesn't matter. They're different back then. I don't know what the hell's wrong with your party now, but not the same today. Anyway, he was the first... Utah's first astronaut, U.S. Senator Jake Garn. I think he was also our governor for a while. I'm flaky on this history. But somehow my parents got an in with him. And I don't know if it was just somebody I think it was somebody they knew, somebody through a friend or something. And they said, we can get you a meeting with Senator Garn, and I bet he can pull some strings. And they were like, well, let's see what we can do. So they got a meeting with his office. They went in there, took the two little ones that we already had, and like told them how they wanted to, and they'd already started sponsoring Matt. That was the deal. And sponsoring is different than adopting, because sponsoring could just be, oh, we're sending the money every month and we're trying to help them through whatever their education is going to be and all this kind of stuff. So that can happen regardless. But to get the full adoption done, it was going to take some hoop jumping. And they sat down with him, brought the other kids, kind of made their plea. He had a real I really want to help moment, and did some kind of crazy red tape twisty twist, and the word came back that he had got it done. So we were able to get a third, and that's when Matt came. And like we talked last show or a couple shows ago, he was 8 or 9 at the time, or 10, whatever he was. 10, 11, 12. I was 8 or 9. And that's where we ended it. Well, then the crazy thing happened. My parents got pregnant one more time. And she absolutely was a freak. Not a freak accident, but nobody saw Wendy coming. Wendy was 6 years later. 6 years after me. All these adoption things had taken place in that time, right? And so Wendy was born, and that was just out of nowhere. And she had some problems. She had a twin that never developed, and the twin was still part of her, and they had to operate her on her when she was 7 to get the part of the twin out of her, because it was basically this big mad ball stuck in her ovary. And she got really sick. They thought it was an appendix thing, but it wasn't. It was just this growth that was her undeveloped twin. Anyway, there's a whole story with that. But I think that answers your question. The motivation was my parents wanted to have 5 or 6 kids. I was the only blood kid at the time anyway that they could have, and they thought they could have, because, well, that and my older brother, but again, 10 years difference, right? I'm 10 years old, he's off to college kind of thing, and he didn't really grow up around us because he's my mom's first marriage. So he was off with his dad, whose name is Jerry, who I never met. There's a whole story there as well, but anyway, that whole thing, separate from that, they wanted to have 5 or 6 kids, and they figured, well, if we can't have them naturally, let's adopt. Let's help some kids who need help. And so that's what they did. That was the motivation and the reason for it. And I will say it provided a very interesting upbringing, one that I cherish. I used to think it was a little weird. Like growing up, I was like, this is weird. No one else is like us. No other families are like this. And now I'm like, this is great. It taught me a lot about differences and honoring differences and accepting people for those differences and cultural changes within a family structure and what that means to just everyday life. And I don't know, it was good for me. It was very good for us as kids, I think, to have that whole influence. So that's how that went. I hope that answers your question. Let's see, is there anything else? This might be it. Nope, that was the one you asked. And I got like a handful, 4 or 5 other emails about the unalive thing. And some are just too long. They were just like tons and tons of paragraphs. I do not want you to think that I don't want to read them. They're just a little long to read. I did read them myself, though. So to everyone who sent stuff like that, thank you. And sorry I can't get to them all. Shorter the better on the show, just because I got to whip them out real quick and do what I got to do. And I think that's going to do it for me now. I really thought Comcast McGee over here would be gone. But he's still there. You hear that engine? He's still running the engine. Still just sitting there. Oh, he's vaping. Yeah, he's got a vape pen. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Let's say it's comcast.org. I don't know this company at all. Anyway, to each their own, whatever. The point is, that's it. I'm done. If you'd like to send emails in, scott@frogpants.com. Keep those texts coming and voicemails coming. 801-471-0462. And I'm going to go to Van's first T-ball game tonight. And that'll be fun because I have childhood memories of T-ball that would make a grown man cry. So we're going to try to have a way better experience for him. Let's just say things were different when I was 8. Anyway, more on that later. All right, you guys are awesome. I'll see you soon, and wish me luck with Comcast Stalker. Okay? I'm sorry, Comcast Stalker. Bye now.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.